CEO Ronald Hickley from Creating the Difference. Today, we're going to talk about not the Infinity, though I do like this ball, and it's actually in my bag, and this ball is really good. We're going to talk about what happens when you want to go past Infinity, and you want to actually go
to infinity and beyond.
Beyond Infinity. Now, this ball's got a lot to live up to because, like I said, I have the other Infinity, and it's a really good ball. So we're going to see what happens when they have adjusted to make the Beyond Infinity. It features HK22 AXH Pearl cover stock, which is a whole lot of letters that mean something that should hopefully translate into a lot of performance. The finish is Crown Factory Compound, which scans at 5,000 grit. The absorption on this bowling ball is actually slow, which is kind of common for the HK22 bowling balls. The hardness is 75. The core is the same as the Infinity. The RG is 2.521, 0.051 differential, and the mass bias is 0.010, which is actually low. As a matter of fact, that's pretty much as low as you can get with the bowling ball still being considered asymmetric before it begins to really become a symmetric bowling ball. The layout is the same layout that I use on our standard layout, which is actually 55 by 4.5 by 30. And I'm excited to see what the Beyond Infinity does because, like I said, I like the Infinity. Well, let's go find out. Good shot. All right, that's a good first shot. Good first shot. Clean, made an aggressive move. I like seeing that, This ball is a different looking color bowling ball too. Talk a little bit about those colors here in a second. Now, is that coming back? With a vengeance. I like that. So the colors are interesting, right? They call it purple, ice, ocean, and mint. So purple, blue, and like green. Definitely a pretty color combination. You can see that. It's a pretty color combination. So that's never a bad thing. It's a little behind the head pin there. That's why I left that flat 7 pin. I mean, that shot was a little left too, though, so not totally to be unexpected there. That better come back. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, definitely cleaner and more angular compared to the original Infinity. Original Infinity definitely was a continuous ball. This one is definitely headed more toward angular territory. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She is angular. We are going to throw a shot in the dark. Yep, splatter on the lanes and splatter on the pin deck. I like it. I like it. Let me throw a little bit straighter. We will move to the left now. I will decrease the wrist position. So I'm going to bring the wrist back and I'm going to increase the axis rotation, both of which should allow the ball to go cleaner down the lane. Give me less hook. Like that. That's the right shape. I just need to make a little adjustment there. We'll be fine. Yeah, this ball is in the angular category. Sometimes when you make that move, like when I make that move, the ball will it won't corner at all. When that happens, then it's like, okay, it's definitely not angular like I thought. But when I see a shape like that, that kind of is an indicator that yeah, it's angular. All right. Ten back. But all balls strike if you're left-handed and you stand on the big dot, you hit second arrow. No, I'm just joking. Okay, so this ball definitely is an angular version of the Infinity. You can move around on the lane. I'm gonna throw one here. Back to the right, see what happens. Yeah, she's good, man. So let's adjust the surface. I just want to kind of see. I'm going to grab a P5000 D-pad, which is going to allow me to get the ball to about 45, 4,700, and then we'll see how it rolls then. All right, so step one is you need a P5000 D-pad. Step two is you want StabiliPad. You put those together. We're going to grab our Beyond Infinity here. We're going to set it down and we're going to begin to sand the entire surface of the ball. We're gonna knock this surface off, the polish. HK22 definitely gives you some back end, but a lot of times people ask us like, well, how does the ball roll with some surface change? So we definitely wanna show you that too. This is actually a common thing that a lot of professional bowlers do, or their tour reps do, get the shine off. Those balls you see on TV, even though they look shiny, they typically aren't nearly as shiny as you would think. The TV lights help to add a lot of shine to them. And really what I want to see here is just, if I hit the ball, what happens to the performance? Does it become increasingly earlier, or does it keep the shape but just give me more of it? So let's see. Just more of it. That's good. That's good. So if you get the ball and you're like, ah, man, it's going too long for my league. I just, it's a little over under. Crack the surface. Now you see I said P5000D was the pad. That means you could also use a 4000 grit True Cut pad as well. Both of those by hand do the exact same thing. But I'm also not trying to make the ball chunky because I don't want it to be early. I just want to see if I can get more total performance out of it, which appears to be the case. So the real question for me now, that ball scans at 4,700. My Infinity also scans at 4,700, so we are at the same grit as, but they're both balls are the same surface. So let's just see. Definitely, that ball is smoother, not as angular, not even as much total hook. Let's throw it again. I want to throw a couple more shots, but definitely, you can just, the shape's completely different. Like the shape is 1,000% different. It's definitely smoother. And like I said, this is one of my favorite balls. I like this ball. Yeah, I mean, so the other ball is striking right there for sure because it reads the spot harder. Huh, good, that's good. If you had an Infinity and you wanted more back end, then maybe you want to go beyond Infinity. Watch. I mean, there ain't a question it's a much more angular piece. It's good. It's good. Y'all want to see it really though? I'm kind of curious, right? I'm kind of curious what happens if I get it really though. All right. I'll do it. Hang on. All right. 1,000 grit. Also, StabiliPad. Now we most certainly want to add in True Cut conditioner because it's going to make the ball or the grit last longer on the pad. It'll also give me a little more even cut. This is actually one of the tour guys or the tour rep's favorite product because you can get a much more even cut when you use conditioner. And as you're getting ready to see, no mess, no mess. 1,000 grits chunky. So we're expecting a lot of early hook. What I really want to see is if the ball quits, right? If I give it this much surface, will the ball now that was angular, will it now begin to stall out, hook too early, bail, down lane? That would not be surprising because we're still in the same environment. But it'll also tell us more about this cover stock if that isn't the case. Now what I'm doing is I'm going around the ball on the sides twice and then hitting the top. That's what I'm doing, by the way, in case you're wondering. I did the top and the bottom, and then we will wipe said ball off. You saw there was no real mess there. And even on the pad, I mean, you can see on the pad here, there's not a lot of mess on the pad. That's the benefit, that's the beauty, that's the reason why you want to use conditioner. A lot of people go, man, you got to stair step the pads, yada, yada, yada. Not with TrueCut. You can do this, because when you do this, you get this. The number that is written on the pad is the number that you get on the ball. And that's what makes TrueCut, because that doesn't happen with other pads. Anyway, enough of that commercial. Let's get back to bowling. So what happens now? She is chunk E. Does she quit? I don't think there's no quit in her. That looked really nice. More rolly for sure, definitely more rolly, but didn't quit. Great sign. Great sign. Good to see that. And if you're wondering what happened, I actually moved like 3 boards right. Yeah. That's good. Like, that's what you want, right? You want the ball to keep hooking, you want the ball to keep going, but you want it to be stronger. So, that's really good. Man, look, so if you are low rev rate, more surface on this bowling ball. If you are high rev rate, maybe Crown Factory compound, maybe even a little bit higher shine on the bowling ball. Same shape though, same angular shape. I would say that when you get down to the low grits is more of a continuous shape, but it doesn't stop. That's a huge deal. So now you've got more information about what I'm gonna call the Buzz Lightyear ball, because it definitely is to infinity and beyond. On behalf of Creating the Difference, I am CEO Ronald Hicklin. Talk to you soon.